Joe Paterno is no longer the head football coach, effective immediately.
You know what? I'm here for my school. I'm going to stand behind my school, and this is just an epitome of what Penn State students can actually do.
Joe, if anyone, Joe's legally cleared. So if anyone did right, it's Joe. And this just makes me sick.
Students hit the streets with news of Penn State head coach Joe Paterno's firing. It's our big story tonight on INN. Hello, I'm Ryan Bass in for Mike Mickle. Welcome to INN News. We begin with the latest shakeup at Penn State. Head coach Joe Paterno and the university president are out. The move comes in the wake of allegations that former assistant coach Jerry Sandusky sexually abused at least 8 boys from 1994 to 2009. Some say Paterno should have done more after an incident was reported by a graduate assistant back in 2002. The Board of Trustees announced its decision last night. It didn't take long for word to spread and for students to hit the streets in protest. Paterno had this to say to the students.
Get a good night's sleep, all right? Study, all right? We still got things to do. All right, I'm out of it maybe now. A phone call put me out of it, but we'll go from here, okay? Hey, good luck, everybody. Hey, thanks for coming. Hey, one thing, thanks, and pray a little bit for those victims. Coach,
The board announced assistant coach Tom Bradley will serve as interim coach, who says he'll do so with mixed emotions.
Coach Paterno will go down in history as one of the greatest men. Maybe most of you know him as a great football coach. I've had the privilege and the honor to work for him, spend time with him, and he's had such a dynamic impact on so many, I'll say it again, so many people and players' lives. And it's with great respect that I speak of him and am proud to say that I work for him.
Bradley will coach the 12th-ranked Nittany Lions through the end of the season, starting with Saturday's home finale against number 19 Nebraska. What do you think Paterno's firing was just? Share your thoughts on our Facebook page. You'll find us at INN News. And time for your vote 2012, where Herman Cain's sexual harassment scandal makes a brief appearance at last night's Republican presidential debate.
The American people deserve better than someone being tried in the court of public opinion based on unfounded accusations.
The debate was held in Michigan last night, but a blunder by fellow candidate Rick Perry has taken the spotlight off Cain for the time being.
No, sir. No, sir. We were talking about the agencies of government. The EPA needs to be rebuilt. There's no doubt about that.
But you can't name the third one?
The third agency of government,
Yeah.
I would do away with the education, the commerce, and let's see. I can't. The third one I can't. Sorry. Oops.
He couldn't remember the name of the Department of Energy. Perry admits to having a brain freeze, but is defending himself today.
There are going to be folks who stumble over words or can't remember an agency as I did, but the seriousness that's going on in this country, where there's 14 million people out of work, where there are individuals who are sitting at home last night watching that debate going, who is it that has a tax plan, who's got a way to balance this budget, who can put this country back on track?
Political analysts say Perry's gaffe and Cain's recent problems will bode well for Newt Gingrich. Most recent polls have him in third place. The experts believe this latest debate could help boost his numbers. Some good news to report tonight. Fewer Americans filed for initial unemployment benefits last week. The Labor Department says about 390,000 people filed for their first week of unemployment claims. That's a 7-month low. Since April, claims have been stuck above or around 400,000. Meanwhile, home foreclosures continue to climb. Last month, there were more than 230,000 foreclosure filings nationwide. That's a 7% increase from September. But despite that, filings were still 31% below levels at this time last year. The highest foreclosure rates are reported in Nevada, California, Arizona, Florida, and Michigan. Foreclosure sales are moving so slowly it'll take more than 8 years on average to clear the 2.1 million homes in foreclosure. The backlog suggests the fallout from the nation's worst housing market collapse is likely to weigh on real estate prices in many markets for years to come. Now we put a face on the mortgage crisis. David Wilbon of Gainesville, Florida is in need of a lung transplant. On top of that, he can't pay his mortgage. Myra Monroe from our affiliate GTN has their story.
I had to basically stop working because I didn't have enough energy to finish my route or do anything.
David Wilbon says a bout with pneumonia 10 years ago has since left him breathing through a tube and on a waiting list for a lung transplant.
I went into hospital a few times too, just because of my lungs, not getting enough oxygen.
Wilbon says his problems don't end there. Since he left work due to his health last October, his family has been struggling to pay the bills. They haven't paid their mortgage in over a year.
We're at wit's end. We don't know what else to do.
Tracy Wilbon says she and her husband bought their house in Northeast Gainesville for $165,000. That was 4 years ago and 2 loans ago. Now their home is worth just over $100,000. It's a sign of the times. The Wilbons say they need a loan modification and feel their bank, Bank of America, is giving them the runaround.
Hopefully that they would be able to work with us instead of directing us to the next person, and then, calling back and saying, oh, they have this better program, and it never clicks with them. They never get it correct.
We want to take care of the house. We want the house. We just need just a little help. That's all we're looking for.
Myra Monroe reporting for INN News.
The White House has declined to sideline a proposed fee on Christmas trees after the fee was ridiculed by critics as a tax on Christmas. President Obama had proposed a 15-cent tax on fresh-cut Christmas trees. The money was to be used to fund a new board that will promote the Christmas tree industry. Sales of artificial trees have grown in recent years. You may want to book your holiday flight late, and you could soon own a piece of the Packers. That's all on tonight's Back to Business.
More than 40,000 people switched to credit unions last Saturday as part of a movement called Bank Transfer Day. It started with anger over proposed fees at Bank of America and other big banks that wanted to charge debit card users. The banks changed their minds on the fees, but resentment has some ready to leave. The Credit Union National Association says in the past 5 weeks, an estimated 650,000 people joined credit unions, which often have fewer or lower fees. Holiday travelers who wait until the last minute to book could get the best deals. In the past, the rule was book early, you get the best price. But this year, though fares are up and flights are fuller, travelers who've waited until last minute could still find a pretty good deal. Airlines may have raised prices too high too fast and may find themselves having to run sales closer to the holidays to fill those empty seats. Green Bay Packer fans are about to get a chance to own a part of the team. The defending Super Bowl champs are planning to sell stock to the public next week. The stock doesn't pay dividends and does not appreciate in value, but demand is expected to outstrip supply. The team will use funds raised by the sale to make improvements to Lambeau Field. This is the Packers' first stock offering since 1997.
The Packers are the only publicly owned franchise in the National Football League. Some of you experienced winter weather this week, but nothing this bad, where a major winter storm with the power of a hurricane is now hitting Alaska. And a flock of pheasants goes free. How 4,000 of these made an escape? Coming up on INN.